Hey there, Knolly Williams here. I'm called Uncle Knolly and I am the business healer. I'm with you with another exciting video, and this time my business partner Curtis Johnson, he answers the question, when does my income, my revenue share begin to hockey stick at eXp? Well, it's a great question because if you're at eXp and you're starting to build your revenue share organization, you're starting to grow, you're starting to see 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month, 3,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 15, 20, 40, 50,000 a month and more, it almost feels like it just can't grow fast enough. You know, you become an excellent leader the more people that you get to influence and be part of their life and their success story. You get to help them grow, help them on their trajectory to success. It just is so much fun. But the question is, here's the dilemma. We all want to grow faster than we are. So Curtis helps to answer the question in this video. Now remember, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to continue to bring you great content, and make sure that you click on the notification bell so you never miss an exciting video. God bless, and let's check it out.
Yes, size matters. So where does my group size and income hockey stick? Are you guys interested in that? Where exactly that's at? Well, compound interest, it's the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. And making money, right? So the money you make makes more. And the only thing better than compound interest is compound agents, right? I know it sounds kind of crass, but the reality is that's kind of friggin' cool in a good way, right? Because guess what? There's a lot of you that I didn't know before. That the only way that we even got to be in each other's world was through this. So I don't see it as, wow, I'm saying like, this expands my life. This makes my life better. And when I see compound, it's compound relationships. I don't know who posted this. Ramon, he posted that. So imagine you owned a large apartment complex that added units to the building every day. Like, you guys see the visual of that? Like, that's exactly what it is, right? So every agent's only really one life change away from being open to eXp. So treat everybody as if you're going to be in business with them someday. Right? We heard a story yesterday about someone that was trying to sell some other something, and they go, hey, do you like this? You like coffee? And they're like, no. And they're like, oh, okay. And they just like kind of dissed them because they're like, oh, they were trying to sell them something. It's like, no, like, if we go around doing that crap, you're like, you only treat people good that are going to join with you, only people that you're going to make money off. That's not cool. And do you think how's that going to play out over time? Like, that's a real question. Like, how's that going to play out over time? Not good, right? Not good at all. Brent Gove says you can either go list 40 homes or list 40 agents. And when you go list 40 homes, what do you get to go do next year? List 40 more again. I'm going to dive deep into numbers. If you guys don't like numbers, you guys are like, well, that's just too much. I'm not into all that stuff. That's cool. We're going to dive into numbers. This is what excites me, I do not like spreadsheets, but I like money. And when you track it, you tell yourself what's important. And I like scoreboards. I like to be able to see where you're at, how you're doing. Now I'm going to share. People go, well, what did you track? What did you look at? How did that work? So I'm going to share this, and it might make sense to you. It might not, but I'm going to go through. So this is me. This is when I started. So started January of 2018. So it'll be 4 years, like next month, or like a month and a half ago. It'll be 4 years. So it's not even quite 4 years yet. June, I had 250 people inside the organization. In August, so a few months later, it went to 500. Okay. December hit 750 because people go, what are these benchmarks? Again, I asked everybody. I'd like be blowing Brent up, Gene, everybody. Show me your spreadsheet. Show me everything. Because why? I want to know benchmarks. Why? They're my peers. I put myself in there. They didn't invite me. Well, I mean, they let me join the company. I guess they invited me. But I'm choosing to be in your world. I want that, and I'm going to choose to do that. And so I would track myself. How am I doing in my peer group? Again, we will do anything to stay in your peer group. You guys are in the wrong peer group. right? You guys are in a peer group going, like, hey, look, I got 2 people. Oh, cool. I got 1. Oh, good, we fit. No, you need to get in a different peer group, and then you do the actions to stay in there. Does that make sense at all? Like, stop trying to fit in the wrong groups. The only reason, like, you know, and you go, well, yeah, you got this big team, and you got them, and yeah, but the reality is, if it wasn't them, it would have been somebody else, because I wouldn't have stopped. Because you do whatever you have to stay in the peer group. You will do whatever it takes. And so when you look at this, hit 1,000. It was like 14 months, hit 1,000, right? And I was doing that because I knew that Brent hit it like in 13 months. And so I was like, okay, I gotta keep up. I gotta stay, like, this is my peer group. This is what I gotta do. And I was looking at that. Then you get 2,000 in January 20th, 3,000 October of 20, 4,000, 5,000, and then this morning it was 6,488. Like, with a little luck, it might hit 6,500 today. Okay, because it's adding usually 10 or so, right? That's my mom came in and visited my office when she actually was here the day I hit 5,000. I thought that was kind of cool. And she, you know, you do it because you're like, hey, did I impress anybody? Did I, like, yeah, it's kind of cool, you guys, but like, isn't it like you want someone that you, like, you want your mom, you want your dad to be proud of you, right? That's why we go do all these things. You know, and so I'll go through a little bit of my spreadsheet, but people go, okay, so I made assumptions. I won't bore you with all the details. I went through and I ran everybody's numbers over and over and over. Ran everything about trying to figure out what is the value of somebody, right? Because people would talk about, oh, each person's worth $1,000 a month. And again, I'm making no claims. I'm doing none of that stuff. You guys saw the disclaimer, all the stuff like that. You guys good, right? Okay. But I went through and I said, okay, what is it really? What do the real numbers come out? If I back the numbers out, and then I'd say, okay, but what if it's unlocked or locked, right? You guys understand what the thing is? If it's the difference between eXp and other places, if you bring in one person and that's it, you're not fully paid on all the other 6 tiers, okay? But you get a little bit, and that's pretty dang amazing. Even if because what happens is as you grow, it just keeps growing, sometimes faster than what you can do. So the first tier is up to $2,800. And what I found was in my world, and again, there's some, right when you're starting, it pays you a little higher. And then as the tiers 4 and 5 fill out, actually per agent drops pretty dramatically because those are the lowest paid, and that's where it builds out. And then it actually starts to pick back up again. So when people go, oh, it's worth this much per person, there isn't one. And plus, you could have a bunch of agents in California, right? It might be they might cap faster, they might go through. And here's the other thing that wasn't factored in is when we came over, people were like, oh, it's $1,000 a month, and then you run the numbers, it's really not. And because a lot of people now are on teams, right? And teams might be a half cap, might be a quarter cap. So when you really look at it, I just was like, what's the truth? So even though they say $2,800, what I found was I got about $933 for each person. That was about like what they went, right? Because people don't cap out, right? So when you factor in what people are actually selling, my tier 2, I went through and I figured out it was about $1,066 for every person in my tier 2. Okay, if it was not unlocked, it would be worth about $50 a month. Okay, tier 3 was $666 because that's paid out at, you guys see right here, paid out at $80 if it's not open, and $2,000 if it is open. So I found that I was paid about $26 if it was not open, and $666 if it was open. You guys following this at all? Like anybody? You guys following this? Okay. Here, tier 4 is $1,200, or up to $1,200, and $80 if it's not unlocked. So what I found is it came out at about $26 actually in my account, and $400 if it was. So it's about a third. So whatever it said, you can make up to this, but the reality is not everybody caps, not everybody sells, and there's cycles and stuff like that as well. But I'm like, I just want the truth. Remember, the very first thing we talked about is you've got to understand where you're starting from. What is the truth? And I just want to know, what are the real number? What is the truth? And this is my truth. This is my experience in running everything. Tier 5 was worth about $26 if it was not unlocked, and it was $266 if it was unlocked. Tier 6 was $133 and 666 if it was unlocked. But again, I would look at this and say it has to do with, there also, once someone joins, if you're growing really, really fast, it has to catch up for a while, right? Because they have to come in and get signs, get business cards, all the different stuff like that. And then tier 7 was $133. So if you just never even unlocked tier 7, would be $133. Then the 7th tier is the easiest one. And that one's $1,333. That was my experience of what those were worth per tier. Okay, does that make sense at all? Like with this, so I would go through and say, okay, so if I only had tier 5 open, I'd say, okay, so every time someone on tier 7 sold something, or if let's say they went throughout the year, every time someone adds someone on tier 7, if it's not open, I know that person is worth, and I know it's terrible to say someone's worth anything, right? But from a business standpoint, that person would be worth to my business about $133. If I was a better recruiter, they would be worth $1,333. That's what you call motivation, right? That's what you call, okay, well, this is the opportunity cost of going through. So taking a better look at this, so as I broke it down, this was a couple months ago, but I went through and said, okay, my tier 1 was bringing me about $4,500 for tier 1, $15,000 for tier 2, $28,000 for tier 3, $41,000, $29,000, $75,000, and then $129,000 on that, right? And that all came up to about $324,000. So this is the power of it, right? We've got some knockoffs out there that are talking about, oh, let's just get rid of, that's just those little things on, like all of your money, things like that, right? This is the power, right? This is the power of the opportunity. And here's the thing, when I started, we all have our mental hangups, right? Not a recruiter. We got to 25 pretty fast, and I told Brent Gove, I said, hey, here's the deal. I'm never going to go above 25. I said, I'm always going to keep it about 25. And he'd get mad at me, and he'd be like, no, you need to keep growing. I'm like, that is so greedy, man. That's just, you don't need, like, I go, I don't want to grow. I don't need to do that. I don't really want to do that, which I found out I was wrong, because I actually do wanted to do that. But I was like, I don't want to do that. And he goes, you know what kind of example are you? He goes, when you stop growing, when you stop recruiting, you tell everybody in your organization to stop. And I was like, okay, that kind of hurt, right? But he said, it's not about you, it's about everybody else. So when we choose to not keep growing, and again, I'm not good at this at all, really. But I'll just show you my numbers I went through. This is how many people were on each tier. And before I had tier 7 open, this is what the payout was, right? So it was my tier 7, because it wasn't fully paid out, was about 5.7%. When I unlocked it, it went to, that was 38% of the money came out. So do you see the power of continuing to grow?
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, I want to invite you out to Knolly Coaching Club. That's right, the Knolly Coaching Club is where I'm able to teach, train, and coach you every single week to your ultimate greatness. Now you can join for just $1. Go to knollycoaching.com and I'll see you on the inside.